Hey guys, it's Callus, and as has become customary, I am narrating the semifinal sets for the Pokemon Perfect ADV Opens. This is ADV Open 2 in 2021, and this is the first semifinal set, and we've got ourselves a doozy. Callus Invitational 4 runner-up and one of the all-time ADV greats, Undisputed, against up-and-comer who's more and more in the spotlight, seeing his name quite a bit recently, Siglut. This is a best of three, and the other semifinal is yet to be played, so we don't know who will be going to the final from that bracket either. The winner here not only will be in the finals, but they'll get a guaranteed spot in the Pokemon Perfect ADV Championship at the end of the year. So let's get this best of three underway. We've got Undisputed on the bottom and Siglut on the top. Swampert and T-Tar leads respectively. T-Tar has the edge there if it has HP Grass. Otherwise, Swampert is going to be ahead in all cases. Neither guy likes the matchup. Switch and switch. We end up with spikes down for Undy. Early advantage for him, and Zapdos should and does force that out. There's the BP. Doesn't get cute with a Dugtrio or anything like that. Simply BPs to Skarm against the Celebi. And in comes Charizard on the spikes. So, they both have one lair, but Zard very threatening, especially if it is Focus Punch. It does go for the boring generic Fire Blast, but like I said, Bliss does have to be aware of the possibility of a Focus Punch here. And Undy is going to switch accordingly. Siglut on top of that knows the Skarm is coming in and gets the Zapper in on it. Straight T-Bolt, straight Spikes. Good turn for Siglut, though there is a Spikes advantage now, 2-1 for Undy. Neither player shown a spinner. Down goes Skarm via another Thunderbolt. We've got ourselves a pretty quick 6-5 with Siglut in the lead, but with a small Spikes disadvantage. Here's the Focus Punch. BP lets him respond to that any way that he wants, and evidently doesn't have a Gengar or something that outright is immune, but he does have a Skarm to take it neutrally. Focus Punch again, and it's going to be met with Toxic this time. Pretty big damage, though, 47 and then 44% respectively. Siglut doesn't seem to have a great switch to this. He's going to let the Skarm go, so we've got 2 layers each of spikes. The T-Tar, however, with lefties, so not a choice bander, is hit with that Toxic. Psychic going to connect with Zard on the way in. That was pretty solid. 54% doesn't take that super well, but it will force out the meta. And Fire Blast coming down, 26% here. Blissey not looking great to survive another one. But Fire Blast unluckily going to miss for Undisputed. Seismic Toss is the punishment, however, not a soft-boiled. Undisputed now will absolutely kill the Blissey in Blaze range should it connect, and he does, so down that goes. We've got ourselves an Undisputed lead very temporarily, it looks like, at 5-4. It is a Pursuit Tower, which is what I thought it would be. Down that goes. Lead is gone, 4-4. Interesting that Swampert comes in. He might not have known that it's Special Tower at the time. There very well may be HP Grass, but there doesn't seem to be. It's a Crunch. It might be something like Crunch Pursuit Fire Blast Ice Beam or Crunch Pursuit Fire Blast Roar. We don't see HP Grass. The Hydro Pumps cooperate for Undy, and he retakes the lead 4-3. Protect on Zap. Zap does go for the HP, which, I mean, why bluff here? It probably really is HP Grass. Other Zapdos comes in just in case, and certainly with Drill Peck, it's going to be HP Grass. HP Ice with Drill Peck doesn't make any sense. The whole point is that you can hit both Celebi and Swampert, which conveniently Undisputed does have super effectively. He finds a Para with Thunderbolt, lucky 10% for Siglut. Protect, however, going for the Toxic stall, despite the presence of the Para, gets the Protect off. Siglut is still down a poke here. Back and forth, but it feels like Undy's always been just a little bit ahead. And he goes to the Celebi here. Siglut not able to predict that and get him with Drill Peck, but he does get another 10% Para with Thunderbolt, which is lucky. But it is a natural cure poke, so it's not the end of the world either. Here comes Meta via the BP. Full Para, that's good for Siglut. Gives him a free opportunity with what seems to be a mixed meta. It showed Psychic earlier. That Meteor Mash is not that exciting, only 30%, but Celebi for a second time in a row is going to be fully paralyzed. However, it's all going to be for naught. It'll just result in a trade. I think he was hoping to catch the Swampert there, but he blows up. Celebi goes down. 2-3 situation. Last poke Siglut. Last poke for Siglut is Loom. He's going to Swords Dance on the Protect, which is very dangerous. Undisputed must be less than thrilled to see that. This Breloom is a real threat now, actually, at +2 and with the Sleeping Pert. Gonna go Brick Break, 51%. Undy hoping for an early wake up and does not get it. Loom gonna go on a rampage here. And there's the knockout. Swampert down, 2-2. Zapdos normally would be an okay answer, but it's paralyzed right now, so the Loom is faster, crucially, and despite the resistance, Brick Break's going to kill that as well, and you know there's no chance that T-Tire is going to live a Brick Break, never mind at +2, so just like that, Loom going to come in the late game and clean him up. He's even just going to Mach Punch him to be extra safe, even though he could have just Brick Breaked him there. And down that goes. Just like that, Siglut makes the comeback. He was down for most of the game by a poke or so, but Loom just, boom, dances up, cleans it up. Simple as that. Undy does not find the answer, and Siglut takes game 1. However, as I mentioned multiple times, it is a best of 3. Set is not over. We're going to do it all in one video to avoid any spoilers, and here is game 2. Players in the same positions. Undisputed on the bottom, Siglut on the top. Siglut again with a T-Tar lead. Undisputed with a meta. He's going to immediately pull it back to Mag, thinking there's going to be a Scarm, and that is not what he finds. He finds a Starmie instead. That's good enough to keep the Magneton in. He goes straight Thunderbolt. Could have been punished there had Siglut gone straight Dougie, if he even has that, but that's not what happened. There's a Bliss that's going to try to Fire Blast the lead meta on the way in. That would have been really nice, but unfortunately he missed. And more switching is going to again favor Undisputed, once again getting the mag in on the Starmie. There's Bliss, nice double. Undisputed again winning the switching mind games. Now he's got the meta against the Bliss. He's going to go for Earthquake, knowing that Starmie would come in, which is why he didn't Meteor Mash. So all good turns, multiple good turns in a row for Undisputed. However, his momentum is going to be slowed by a Thunder Wave from Siglut. Heracross comes in on their cover. Starmie down to 79%, which is pretty healthy, but it definitely will not live a Mega Horn should Heracross go for that, which is exactly what he goes for. It's going to be intimidated and resisted by Salamence here. Salamence does have lefties, Hera does not, and looking like a mixed men's here from Siglut as he goes for Dragon Claw. That's going to prompt out a Zapdos and a Lax, respectively. So 5 pokes out of the 6 shown for both guys. Physical offense from Undy, and looking like a mixed balance or offense from Siglut here. Probably a balanced team is what I'd call that. Earthquake connecting with meta on the way in. Meteor Mash on the last poke, Moltres from Undisputed. Attack raise is great, but it's not going to matter here because meta cannot stay in against the Moltres. And it's a double back. Wow, he stays in, goes for protects. That actually, it's a little awkward for Undy. It's going to force him back out, and that gives him an opportunity to get crit there and get killed, but he does manage to avoid that, and there's another attack raise, but again, it's not relevant because Moltres will force him out. Flamethrower there is good enough. It doesn't have to be Fire Blast. That would have toasted the meta. Blissey came in, as it is obligated to do, and Lack's going to be the response as Blissey, instead of soft-boiled in, goes for the Ice Beam on the switch. Bounces off the Lax at only 13%. Here's the meta reappearance. Body Slam fishing for the 30% para. Does not find it. Both pokes gaining lefties. Meta on meta. One's a little healthier, one's parried, but now Siglut just has the better meta all around, both healthier and no status. Nevertheless, he gets out of the way in case there's a boom. He thinks Starmie is the weakest link in this matchup. If he did go for boom, he doesn't get it off because of the para. There's the surf, and another para for Undy. He's had a couple of bad paras in this set. Remember, the Celebi in the previous game was paralyzed multiple times in a row as well. Nevertheless, Undy not ready to give up meta. He switches back to Coon here. No threat from the Starmie that we know has only Surf as an offensive move. It is the T-Wave Bold set that doesn't threaten Coon at all. Zapdos does, though, and down that goes and out of the way. Thunderbolt and Magneton, no lefties unsurprisingly. It is probably simply holding Magnet, but there is no Skarmory on the other side. Magneton is not going to be exciting in this matchup. Mence again switching into Hera, and again it is Mega Horn, and despite the resistance and the Intimidate, Heracross hits that damn hard. It still does a fourth, even with those factors. But a lot of things on Undy's team getting low. The Moltres is getting chipped, the Heracross is not super healthy, the Magneton's getting chipped, the Coon's low. Undy going to have to maneuver carefully here. Siglut playing pretty aggressively and getting a lot of damage off. And there's the first knockout of the game on turn 29. Undy loses his Moltres in exchange for a 35% Flamethrower on the Zapdos. Siglut pulls it back to the lead tower for the first time since it led the game. Takes a 59% Earthquake on the way, and it's pretty hefty, but he nevertheless forces the Lax out. Rock Slide there is 26. That's a good chunk. Meta's going to resist it. And as long as he doesn't miss, which he doesn't, we've got ourselves a knockout, and Siglut gets his lead even bigger, 6-4. Very temporarily, though. Magneton with a revenge kill make that 5-4. Mence, which almost certainly has Fire Blast and Brick Break, is going to come in here. Goes for the blast. That would have hit the Magneton. Instead, it hits Lax for only 18%. Takes it really well. And he opts not to stay in for the Brick Break here. A lot of switching. Magneton on Starmie here. That's going to again prompt a Blissey switch, and a nice double yet again for Undy, controlling the momentum with strings of switches. But all that being said, he's still behind in this game. Despite the really nice switch play from him, he is still losing right now, 5-4. Siglut clearly with the advantage in this game. Is it a Crocoon? It is. It goes for Sleep Talk, but it whiffs. It finds only Rest, which does all of nothing. Zapdos here should scare it out, and does. Obligatory Thunderbolt comes down. Lax is going to take it, 23%. That's also getting chipped down, and of course there is Sand in play, so he's not going to be around forever. And Undy again out-predicts him with the switch, gets Magneton in on Starmie, and again double switches for the out-predict, gets Coon in on Blissey. Undy doing everything he can to claw back into this game, but is not getting cooperative RNG. I think he was looking for Surf there on the Sleep Talk, but instead he found Calm Mind. Gonna stay in and go for it again. He finds Rest, which is the worst thing he could find. No punishment for the Zapdos as it roars him out. Surf there at +1 very well could have killed that Zapdos, but no justice. There is the Mega Horn from Undy. It's going to do 44 to Meta. The follow-up also is going to do 44. Just shy of killing the Meta. Gets the Boom off. Trades with the Hera. Leaves us in a 3-4 situation. Siglut, as he has been throughout the game, just a little bit ahead. Starmie here is going to try his luck on the Surf. That's going to do very little against the Coon, but the Coon has effectively killed 0 sleep turns as far as the game is concerned, because Sleep Talk does not count towards killing a sleep turn. He does find Calm Mind in his sleep. He once again has a chance to punish the Zapdos here, and again he whiffs, finding Rest, and gets roared out. That is the second time he's had an opportunity to punish or kill that Zapdos with a good Sleep Talk, but he cannot and does not find it, and Siglut again maintains his lead. Here we are again with the Zapdos switching into the Coon, but again a useless Rest found in the Sleep Talk for Undisputed. Now Magneton comes into a Thunderbolt. 34% it's going to have to eat. It should not live another here. Nothing preventing a follow-up Thunderbolt, and there it is. Magneton faints. Only the Lax can prevent the Zapdos from outright ending the game for Siglut, and it's a very temporary solution to a much bigger problem. Again, another nice double switch for Undy, but he is out of opportunities for bad luck. He must get cooperative RNG. He finds a Surf here for 24%, leaving the Zapdos at just 20, but he has no Calm Mind defense to his name. Undisputed switches to the Lax here on the Rest turn from Zapdos. Undisputed doing everything right as far as switches are concerned, and he again double switches to perfection and sets up the matchup. This is a master class of how to out-predict your opponent with switches. There's a triple switch from Undisputed, again setting up the perfect matchups, and he's going to self-destruct there. That was not the intended target. Coon is going to have to get very lucky here in this late game in order for Undisputed to send us to a Game 3. Sleep Talk Rest again. That is not what he needs. Poor Sleep Talk RNG. Zapdos due to wake up on the next turn. He must find something, but he finds Rest again. Undisputed cannot catch a break with the Sleep Talk RNG. It has been a brutal game for him. There's the Thunderbolt, and there's nothing he could find here. Even a crit Surf with a max roll would not be enough. Nothing preventing Zapdos from Thunderbolt. And insult to injury, he finds a critical hit. Rough game for Undisputed. He played that really well and was out-switching the crap out of Siglut, but it did not seem like a good matchup, and the Sleep Talks just would not cooperate. Siglut is going to get the unexpected and highly impressive 2-0 victory over one of ADV's all-time greats in Undisputed. Undy is not going to have himself an invite to the ADV Championship just yet, but if he keeps playing these, I'm sure it's a matter of when, not if. but Siglut has punched himself a ticket to our ADV championship on Pokemon Perfect. Congratulations to him. Can't wait to see him in the finals. Like I said, we don't know who he's going to be against just yet, but when that set does play out, you know it's going to be here on YouTube. If you've been enjoying this content and want to see more of it, please do leave me a thumbs up. Please do subscribe if you've not done so already. And yeah, let me know what you thought of the content. We do have a comment section. I will see you guys in the next video.